Good morning and welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna Coles, and this morning we're visiting with Greg Drake. He's the Butler County Extension Agent for Agriculture and Natural Resources. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Joanna.
Now, Greg, September is honey month, and so I'm glad you're here today because you're a beekeeper. You raise bees and have honey, but I think there's a lot of questions about honey, like when is it available and those type of things, and you're going to help shed some light on that today.
Absolutely. I brought some props here with me. I don't have my bee veil on today because we're not talking about actually working the bees. We're just going to dedicate this show to honey, so that's exciting. I wish I had a hot biscuit with me.
Yeah, because honey it's a great sweetener. There's a lot of advantages to eating, especially local honey.
Absolutely. The biggest driver, I think, in the amount of hives that we have is we have a population of folks here in South Central Kentucky that want local honey. They realize that it is a great source of a sweetener, a healthy, natural source of a sweetener. A lot of people take it for different health things or health concerns they have. And we've got a great supply here because we've got some of the best beekeepers in the world right here in South Central Kentucky. And I think it's just wonderful that people want to buy that good local honey that we have here in Southern Kentucky.
I agree, but I think a lot of people will call around Christmas and they'll say, I want to buy, 15 or 20 little bears of honey. And a lot of times it's already gone. So when do we get honey?
Okay, so here's the deal, Joanna, and that's exactly right. Our beekeeping club's called the Green River Swarm Catchers, and we've got a great bunch of beekeepers, but the harvest is in July. Mid-June to July is when most of our honey is going to come off. Those bees have made that spring crop. They've worked all the trees. They've worked all the spring flowers. That's when probably 80% of the honey that a hive makes is made in that spring crop. So our beekeepers harvest it and they bottle it, and typically they sell it by now or not long past September, which is honey month. But unfortunately, folks think that'd make a great Christmas present. I'm going to buy some Christmas presents for my kids' teachers. Well, at November, it's gone. The supply is just, it's here and it gets sold, and we do not harvest honey all year. We typically only harvest honey one time per year.
Okay, so knowing that is very important. So if you do want a year's supply, it might be good to go ahead now and make sure you contact that local beekeeper to be able to get it. But Greg, you have a lot of different honeys here. What makes honey different?
So there are different things that the bees work. Obviously, the trees bloom early in the spring, late in the winter. They make a ton of honey off of the tree bloom. Mm-hmm. That honey tends to be darker. This honey is very dark.
But it's like molasses.
It's very liquid, and it is almost like molasses. Here's one that is a little bit lighter, but really not a lot lighter. I'm going to say these are probably made from trees. And then we have honey that's more kind of the honey color that we would expect to see. It tends to be made more off of flowers and probably the clover or whatever. But we just get a variety of colors and tastes in our honey.
Let me ask, does it affect the taste?
The taste is very different. Typically, the darker a honey, the stronger the flavor, which I like. I like my honey to be very strong and very dark colored. Some people want it to be almost clear and have a very light honey flavor. So just like you might like pork more than, and I like beef more, the people have a different taste in honey as well. That's right.
So we get calls about, I bought some local honey and now it's crystallized. What causes that process, and is there a way that we can maybe prevent that?
Okay, so that's a great question. If you go out and buy honey, it may crystallize, which means it turns solid. But if somebody buys some honey and it does begin to crystallize, like this, it's beginning to crystallize, they can put that down in warm water and slowly bring it back to warm, and it'll turn back to liquid and taste just like honey.
All right, well, so that's a good tip to know. Now, Greg, if people are looking for local honey, what's the best way for them to be able to find it?
Try to find a beekeeper. A lot of beekeepers will have a sign out where they're selling honey. Go to a festival. Farmers markets have a lot of local honey for sale. They can call their extension office. Sometimes we can hook them up with a local beekeeper to provide them the honey they want for their family.
All right, well, appreciate the information, Greg, and make sure to stock up on your honey now before it's too late. Thanks for watching and have a great day.